Good morning, cousins. Man, you know what, folks? The sun is shining. I've been very productive already today. Got some fulfillment done this morning. And I just hit the first thrift store. I bought a little bit of jewelry, a couple of grab bags, some potentially broken or singles, but sometimes those baggies have little pieces of silver or gold in them. When I get back to the warehouse, we'll go through that. But this video today is really just showing you a day in the life of a reseller, such as myself. My name is Rusty Blivens III. I operate out of Western North Carolina and near the Asheville area. We got this warehouse here. We got some staff. Peaches, my right-hand man. He's at the warehouse getting some stuff done. Getting all geared up because this weekend on Saturday, there is an outdoor sale happening, and I'm both going to work it, all right, trying to sell some stuff locally, but I'm also going to run around early on and try to source myself. And so the next video you get will be that experience, my selling experience locally, and also did I find any awesome things to resell. But today I got a handful of things. I'm going to hit a couple of stores. If I find anything in these stores, we'll go through it. I'm also got to replenish stuff at an antique store that I sell at locally because it kind of got stagnant. You got to do this. It's just maintenance. You got to put new stuff in from time to time, take out some old stuff, change some prices and whatnot. But hold on to your breeches, buckle yourself up for safety, and I'm going to take you through my world in a day. All right, back here at the warehouse, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I was at the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and I came across this right here. It is a Stanley router guide. It's a vintage piece, $2. These sell for $15 to $20 on eBay. You just put in Stanley and then this number right here. That's your reference. And then this cool piece here, $2.50. It's the Yankee number 131A. Again, a reference number, which is nice. So you just look this thing up. These things can sell for between $40 and $60. It's a very long wooden-handled, unfortunately it's got a crack in it, so that'll take the price down a little bit. But you can unscrew this and put little bits in there, and that's what it's for. So, some nice tools there. But right here, I got these little baggies. It says broken jewelry for crafts. And I only paid $5 a piece for these, okay? And then these are ones I hand-picked out. I'll show you those, but we'll dump these out, and we'll see if $5 for these bags of maybe broken pieces or singles or things, jewelry, grab bags, would be worth a $10 investment. Let's start off looking at these pieces. Why did I buy these? Well, these are all $2 or $3 a piece. Sterling silver right there. These, I don't see a brand on them, but they're this kind of gold tone with like this little stone. I need to test it. I don't think that they're gold because they got a steel post. And the little backers say Avon on that, but this is something I think that this thrift store put on. They do that whenever they get earrings in that don't have backs. They got a variety of these backs that they just throw on stuff. I'll get some newer backs or some nicer backs to put on these. The plastic kind of makes it look like the piece is not as valuable, and so I'll replace those. But here's some another silver with some sort of this crazy colored stone here. But those are attractive. $2 or $3 a piece for those. At a minimum, I think I can get $10. I think I can get at least $10 out of each of those. And then this set, also in sterling silver, but this stone, folks, is a genuine facet cut gemstone. It's open in the back. It's deeper cut, as you can see, and it's got this shimmer. You can kind of see that color I believe that these are citrine, okay? That's an actual gemstone. And so that was nice. Mixed in there with the costume jewelry is some silver earrings with actual gemstones and not just, rhinestones, plastic, or glass. All right, I got the tops pulled off of them. We're going to dump them out here. And I'll just tell you, my strategy for sorting through this kind of stuff, folks, is I do an initial, a couple of phases. Phase one is I dump it all out and I do an initial sort, meaning I'm going to separate out stuff that I know I can sell either individually or in a lot. And then I'm going to put aside stuff that is what I think might be a nice maker, maybe a precious metal, maybe has a gemstone. And after that, or trash, right? If it's broken, if there's no resale value, I'll take stuff that's cheaper, I'll put it aside, I'll sell it in bulk lots of jewelry. The other stuff, I'll go through and decide, do I sell it in small lots, individually, or if further tests need to be done, tests for metal, tests for gemstones, I'll do those and then do my research. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of start sorting through this. This is a large, looks like a Christmas ornament, and it says 1985 on it there, okay, which is kind of nice. It's kind of like this, it looks almost like stained glass, but it's like a resin stuff, but you can see through it. So that'll have some value because Christmas is coming up, so I will be able to sell that or try to list it during Christmas time. Let's see here. We've got some little beads, probably not all that valuable. But I'm going to come in here. I definitely am going to hold on to some of these. It has metal on one side, and the other side it's come off. These are sometimes these can be valuable. There are certain brands that doesn't look like these are those brands, but especially if there's more in here, I can sell those as well. So those will be something. These over here are going to be probably either trash or go in probably a bulk lot. Not trash. It'll go in a bulk lot. Here's some of these beads. So all these beads I'm basically going to put off to the side. I'll sort those out later. Here we got a little USA. It's kind of like a patch looking thing, but it is a pin back that the pin back is broken off. And so again, probably not. Oh, look at this huge stone. Probably just glass or plastic. But again, it passes sort number one. I'm going to do a secondary glance at that later. I'm really just looking for broken stuff I got to throw away or what I got to do. This right here says Israel. That's interesting. It's an earring. It looks to me like it might be made out of sterling silver, although I don't see a 925. But let's pop the Omega back. Look on the underside of it. I don't see any mark indicating that it could be silver. It certainly tarnishes that way. So it may be silver. It may be silver plated. We'll get the magnet out in a little bit. We'll do the test on that. Still seeing some beads, some faux turquoise beads, things, different types of stones that people, that look like turquoise, but they dye them to look like turquoise, but they're really a white stone usually. Here's one of an earring. That's nice enough. All the stones are intact. Move that off to the side. Here's just a little white plastic ball. Probably not worth much. Gonna throw that over there. Here is, it looks like a pin. Missing the back side. I'm going to throw that off here to the side. Some pins, some wheels. I'm not going to make you watch me go through all this, but you're getting the idea of how I sort stuff here. I'm taking these little beads. I'm putting the beads all together. This is like pre-sorting. Another plastic one. I'm going to go through. And so I'm going to start going through this, folks, when I get finished, so you don't have to watch me do all of this. I'll pull out stuff that I need to do a secondary look at, and I'll tell you why I pulled it outside, and we'll look at that together, and we'll figure out if there's anything of very much value in here. Okay, so here's the stuff that I'm just going to say is not really worth selling individually or even in small groups. It's either damaged or broken or pieces, but there's some stuff that crafters could do. I'm going to throw it in a little jar like this, and I'm going to sell it like that. This is the stuff that I ended up with, and I have sorted a certain way. In fact, I meant to put these and these right here. Okay, so that stuff kind of stays there. this stuff over here, and then this stuff, and there's these own piles. Okay, and so here's what we got here. This pile is these beads. As you can see, we've got these different types that are blown glass, different colors and things. Those are pretty. I can sell those in a lot, right? These are all going to go in a lot together. They're not going to sell for a ton. There's lots of these out there. Like I said, they aren't great brand. It's not like branded or anything, so these are cheaper ones. This right here is kind of blown glass, like pendant. Quite pretty. You got some kind of like, looks like gold dust type stuff in there. Beautiful little piece you can hang. I've not had the best luck selling these. I've got several of smaller ones and different stuff. They sell, but they usually sit for a long time. And then these beautiful little beads. I've got a cousin out there who makes rosaries and other stuff with beads, and these are glass. These are not. So these might be old. These might be old check glass pieces. I'm not exactly sure, but they're facet cut and they're beautiful and they're heavy. So I'm going to save those for her. Then you saw this. Then we've got some cufflinks and several pairs of earrings. This, unfortunately, is not a pair. That's a single. So I'm going to put that aside. I'll tell you about that in a moment. And then here's a single. Here's a single. Here's a single. Here's a single. And this is a Trifari brand. No, that's a Monet. Sorry, that's a Monet. One of those is a Trifari. So those are all going to go. These are all decent brands, good pieces, but they're singles. So I'm going to sell those separately in a lot with others that I have of singles, because people do things craft-wise with those as well. And then these. So this we've got, it's an Accessor Craft NYC brooch, good condition. We got a couple of, gold tone and red kind of not looking earrings. No brand, but they're decent shape, decent color. These are not the best condition, but they are Monet brand, as you can see, or no, Avon rather, Avon brand. Not sure what I'll do with those. Probably throw them in to sweeten another type of a grab bag deal. But look at these beautiful earrings. I'm so glad that I found the full pair. You can see these are older pieces. You got these green rhinestones, these plastic kind of rhinestone things, and you got the rivet back. This reminds me of stuff that like Coro makes or made during this period of time, though I don't believe that there's a maker mark on here. Well, would you open Dogonias? Okay, here we go. You can see that green tarnish in there from the copper or some of these other alloys in here that's causing that. But still a beautiful pair. This pair alone could probably sell for $14, $18. So like the entire bag of everything I got, I could probably make my money back and be in the profit with just that pair of earrings. Here's a little clip, some yellowed rhinestones. Okay, and then this is a heartbreaker, folks. Look at these. I say heartbreaker because of this piece here. It's beautiful. You turn it over and you're going to discover that this is a Crown Trifari pair of earrings. But look, we're missing the big rhinestone. Ugh, it just hurts the heart. Also, a handful of these little stones along the edge are also missing. And so I might just throw this in with some broken pieces in a lot, or I might sell this one as a single, or I might even sell them as a pair and just say, hey, it's Trifari. It's missing some stones. If you think you can repair it, do it. But I was disappointed. It's a bummer. That's the kind of thing you get, though, in these lots. And then this last two lots here is the second tier of investigation. This tier is it sterling silver or is it branded? And this tier is same thing. Is it branded or is it made out of gold? And so I need to do some visual inspections first, some inspections with a magnet, and then we'll go from there. So let's start with the silver patch first. All right, here we do. We go through, we're going to see if any, okay, right off the bat, not silver. You see how that, oh man, it just grabs it. So, okay, doesn't mean it's not got any value. It just means it's not going to have silver content value. So this right here, wow, doggone it, hold on. Oh, where was that? Oh, my goodness. No. Oh, my goodness gracious. Where? No. This is so frustrating. I do this every time. No, maybe it's under here. No. Oh, I found it. Okay, sorry. Not silver. Well, it could be silver, but the real thing I want to see is it looks like a little barrel, and on one side it has this little spot where you can unscrew it. And when I shook it by my ear, there's something inside of that. So we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so it was not magnetic. Is this magnetic? No. Oop, that one's grabbing me. Okay, let's try these. Okay, in there. We're good there so far. Nope. Nope. This is all boding well so far. All of these could be silver so far. Doesn't mean just because it's not magnetic doesn't mean it is silver either. We got to do further inspection, further investigation. Okay. Oop. Drop you over there. Okay, well, all this stuff is still in the mix for possibly being silver, and now we have to inspect it. This piece here is made out of silver. It's old, very old. Strangely enough, the indication where it's marked is not at the top here where you'd normally look. It's actually at the very bottom of this piece here. And you can see, if I can get those out of the way, it says sterling, made in Siam. So it's no longer called Siam. I believe that's formerly, is that Thailand? Is that what that was? Thailand or something like that. In that area, Southeast Asia. Beautiful piece. It's just a single though, however, so, but that's going to be, that's sterling silver, okay? I'm going to move over to these earrings, and we're going to look at these. What you're looking at is something that looks like sterling silver and has marcasite in it, which also kind of dates it, makes it an older piece. Although it's a clip, so not too terribly old. The clip looks definitely more brassy than the rest of it. So, and now I'm going to do something, folks, and tell you something that I do not necessarily recommend to everybody to do on every piece of jewelry. But sometimes this is what I do. I've worked with enough metals, and I know how to fabricate jewelry. I can repair jewelry, various things. I've handled thousands of pieces of fine in-costume jewelry. And so it would suffice it to say I'm pretty familiar with these metals, with copper, with aluminum, with soft alloys that costume jewelry are made out of, silver and gold, okay? And the thing about the metals, the mixtures of metals that costume jewelry, which are not silver and gold, are made out of, is that oftentimes they're quite fragile. You can bend them easily, they can break easily. If there's some sort of a coating on the outside of them to make them more shiny, that stuff can crumble and scratch off. But silver, you have to understand, is a fairly strong, fairly durable metal. Sterling silver, okay? Gold, even stronger. Gold is very hard, very strong. Typically when it's, 10, 12, 14, and even 18 karat gold is usually fairly strong. But silver is softer, but it still, has some good strength to it. So this pair of earrings is missing some of the marcasite. It's kind of faded. If this ends up being sterling silver, I'm not going to sell it as earrings. I'm going to sell it for scrap metal weight anyways. And so knowing that, it doesn't matter if these are intact perfectly or broken. I'm going to sell them the same way, and the same buyer will buy them the same way. I'm going to do something which is, I'm going to try to bend it a little bit. I don't want to break it necessarily at first, but I want to bend it and just see how durable is this metal. If this metal is fairly durable, it's going to be another indication that this may be silver. If, however, it bends very easily or is very, very soft, or I see some sort of coat and crackle, or I hear it crackle, then my guess is this is some soft alley. So here we're going to try it. Now, I'm noticing, look at that, I already bent it very easily. I didn't even push that hard. Here again. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go ahead and break this off, and we're going to look at the inside of the metal. See if I can just kind of push it around just very easily. Now, if this were really thin, silver could break in that way. But something this thick should not break so easily. And I don't know if you can see that or not. See if I can zoom in on that metal. What you may or may not be able to tell, because my camera's not real great, is that the color inside of that is not the same color as the outside. It's not even really a silver color. It's a little bit more of a yellowish color. Now, this has been hidden from the oxygen, so it's not like silver that may have tarnished to a yellower color. What we're looking at is some sort of mixture of an alloy that is much softer than silver. And so actually the inside mirrors kind of that color there a little bit, and even more so this. So inside, what the color of the metal is that, and that is actually not silver. All right, this little sweet little older pair of flower earrings say sterling, and even on the inside there they say NYE sterling. So those are nice. Those are made out of silver. This right here is just a single. I don't see anything on it, but that shine looks very much like a plating. And so I can do a scratch test, but I'm guessing that's going to go over here in the singles. Okay, these look like old pieces that came off of old jewelry. They look like they could be silver. I'll have to do scratch tests on those. These are the earrings. This one they say Israel on them, but they do not have any marks. So I'm also going to have to do a scratch test, but I believe that all of these are likely. Definitely these, probably silver. This may or may not be. I haven't looked. I'm not seeing a mark. Let's keep going. We got this little bead here, and what I'm looking for is there it is. Look at that, 925. You can see it. So that's a sterling silver little bead. That's nice. Okay, we'll keep looking. Here we go. Here's an old single as well. Got that old screw back. I don't believe this is silver at all, but it is a cool piece. It's got those rivets. So that's a nice single. It's got all its stones. I'm going to throw this over here. All right, winding down. We'll get to that one in a moment. And we got these. Okay, so again, vintage costume jewelry, screw back again. You can see the plating. The silver coated plating has worn off. Definitely not sterling silver. That's going in the singles pile. Here's a cool old piece. This is probably silver, just based on the look of it. This is kind of like a hands. Oh man, I wish I had both of these. That's a cool piece. Hands and a bird. You can see the top here that would clip onto the ear is broken off, which is why it's in this bag. But if you look very close on the back of the bird, 925, and on the bottom of one of the hands, it's dirty, but it would say 925. So that is sterling silver. This, by the way, is all the stuff that I have identified for sure is sterling so far. Here's the what ifs. These, let's see if it says anything on it. I'm not seeing anything written on it, but it's hollow. It's very light. Moving on, what do we got here? Nice little earring, nice and bright. Oh, Monet. Well, you're not sterling silver, are you? You're a looker, but you're going in the singles pile. Okay, again, these little pieces that came off of something, they broke. They're the same looking pieces here. Very bright, no tarnish at all. That's a little bit suspect for me. Look on the back, the way the little gritty stuff on the back also, more often than not, these pieces are not silver, or if they're marked silver, sometimes they're not, even if they're marked. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of bend this a little bit and just see. Does it bend very, very easily? Oh yeah, it bends real easily. Silver of this weight and this thick should not bend in my fingers like this. I mean, I'm no slouch, but I'm not the strongest man in the world. But being able to just sort of pinch this down and break it in half should not happen. And so I can tell by that alone, just the strength of the metal. I know that this is a softer, some sort of an aluminum or some other softer alloy metal base and not silver. All right, I went ahead and bent this and broke it in half, and I want to show you up close this metal. Can you see that edge here? like that. Ooh, perfect. You can see that there's a soft, almost like a gray colored metal on the inside of it. And on the outside, you've got this coating, this silver colored coating that is just, I can just scrape it off. I can just scratch it off. Okay. And so you can see right there, these little pieces of it. This is just a base alloy, something soft with either silver plating or some other type of shiny metal coating that has been coated on the outside of this. So there you go. Not silver, and I don't even believe that the coating is silver. It's something else, but it's highly polished. That's just going to go either in the trash, or maybe this one I'll go ahead and put in this pile over here that can go in a grab bag for somebody. All right, on to this little bracelet. Not bad looking here. Looks like CZs or some sort of glass rhinestone and some sort of glass blue or perhaps a synthetic sapphires. You got some heavy tarnish here, so this could be silver. Go to one end, you'll notice, well, it's broken. It's broken off, and so that's why it was in this bag to begin with. But then we come down here and we look at the latch. Okay, there's the latch. Flip her over, and what are we going to see here? What's it see? Okay, come on, zoom in here. Oh, it says China and 925. So we'll scratch test to make sure, but I believe that this is sterling silver. And so that's going to have some weight in it. That's nice. I have done testing, and I've confirmed everything here is now silver. So in a moment, I'll pull a little scale over here, and we'll weigh up just in scrap silver weight what we're looking at, knowing that there are a couple of stones, in here that will add a little bit of the weight. Okay, folks, what is in this barrel? I've started to unscrew it, so I'm gonna try to get this out, and we're gonna see, is it a diamond? Is it a gold nugget? Is it a vial of someone's blood? Old Rusty does not know, but I have to put down the camera here. I'm going to get this unscrewed, and we'll see what's going on inside. All right, he is unscrewed. We're going to see what is in here making all this racket. Oh my. What is this? It appears to be a stone. Well, it's cracked. Doggone. That's also crazy though. Why? So this is a facet cut stone, and I believe it's genuine. It's cracked, so it's not going to be worth anything, unfortunately. But based on the color, it looks to be a garnet. Like it's kind of a thinly cut. You'll have to excuse my thumbnail here. It's getting quite large, old man large. So sorry about that. But look at that. That's cool looking. I mean, it's cracked. I'm going to have to pitch it, but or maybe I'll throw it back in there. I don't know. Throw it back in so that the next person can have a fun thing. I have no idea what this would have gone to. It hung on something. It almost looks like a charm, but that's not the kind of thing you'd use to connect to a charm usually. I don't know. Definitely bizarre, but kind of fun anyways. All right. You know what? I've decided I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to pass her along to the next person to have some fun with that. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to get my scale, and I need to weigh the silver, right? And then we need to do some further investigation on this pile right here. Okay, got my scale here. As you can see, we're going to take this silver. I'm going to set it on here. Oopsies. Let's see here. All right, get these on here. See if I can get doggone. This is a very small scale. I should have got a larger one out. Okay, I think it's all on there, and we're looking at roughly 53 grams of sterling silver. Of course, there are a few stones in there, but 53, that's not bad. That means I should be able to sell this lot for between $35 and $40, just the scrap weight. Again, $10 for everything here. I'm already $40 into profit, $30 into profit probably after selling this, and that's not all of this other stuff too, not to mention if we find any gold in here. All right, I just looked at this piece. I opened it up. There's no indications, no markings. Pretty sure this is just a basic alloy, but it's in nice condition. So if I put a little chain on that, I could sell that probably by itself, honestly. Not much, but for something. This here, we got some earrings right here. And I just took a little peek and look at that Avon. Another pair of earrings that are perfectly fine. And they're a brand that people know. So that's going to go over with the earrings. Now, what do we have left here? Okay, so we've got this piece, which is gold tone. Definitely a little bit of corrosion on it. Looks fairly, it's not that heavy. Also weight, so like if this were gold, solid gold, I would expect it to weigh more in my fingers, in my hand, than it does. But of course, I'll do the test anyway. I'll scratch test this on an edge someplace to see. So that's an I don't know still right here. Here we got a two-tone cross pendant. Could be sold if I put a chain on it. It's attractive. It's a religious symbol. There are people who will buy this. No markings. My guess is it's also not gold or silver. I'm going to push a little bit. Yep, it's pretty soft. I don't want to break it though. I don't want to crack it because I want to be able to sell it. So I'm putting that over there. Those are no's. Here's a maybe. What else have we got left here? These. So this is an earring. There's no marks on it, but same thing. I'm going to kind of use my finger. How strong is this metal? Is it very strong? Let's look and see. Oh, did you hear that? Listen. Yeah, move this clip out of the way. It bent very easily. It's not gold or silver. I can tell you right now. Here we go. And I'm still bending it. Oop. If you see the area where it cracked, you can see right here. See, it's flaking off the gold part. Look at that. Look at that gray. Again, that gray metal inside there. And this kind of gold colored stuff that's just sort of flaking off there. It isn't gold. It is gold colored. As a single, I wasn't going to get much for it anyways. That's why it's fine. But I'm using this as a demonstration so you can kind of see, you know, how I go through this. And then what do we have left? These pieces. All right. So I've taken this little pen, like a brushed gold kind of color here, and you can see the back of it. But there's no marking. That's not a good sign. I don't think it's made out of gold. I think it's just a gold color. But it is a fully functional little tie clip thing. Get in there, you booger. And so I'm going to put this over here with the earrings and the cufflinks. We'll find a place for that. And then we have these pieces. Okay, so these are earrings. Let me zoom in here if I can. Come on now. All right. So you can see it's kind of etched. Interesting kind of look. It has a screw back, which indicates that it's a little bit older. There is no marking of gold on it. The back here is a little bit more brass than the rest of the gold, but that's a pretty shiny gold color. And so I think it's possible that this could be at the very least gold filled, if not possibly gold. So I'm going to get out the scratch tester here in a second. And then there's this. It's a single earring. And so what I want to do is I'm going to look around the inside of the hoops. You can see there's a dent here. It's a single. It's hollow. But I've come across lots of pieces like this or similar to this that are gold and lots like this. If we flip it around, okay, yep, there we go. Right here on the top. Let's see what it says. Down here, what does that say? Can we tell? Something, almost like a heart and something else. It's indicating something. Let me get my loop out. All right, success. I looked at it with my loop, and it says it has a heart, the letters OR, and then it says 14K. So we have a 14 karat gold single hoop earring here, but it's light. It maybe barely weighs a gram. Let's see here. Half a gram. Well, 14 karat is around $36 right now for a gram. So, you know, we're looking at $15 to $17 probably for that. Just that one piece of gold. And so with this, just one piece, all this stuff that has come out that we've talked about, this one piece, was worth the $10 investment. And now I got to get out my scratch test and check these out and see what's going on there. I now have my 14 and my 10 karat gold out. I have my scratch plate here, and I got my 2 pieces that I want to test. With regard to these pieces, I'm going to scratch both this end right here of, goodness my gracious, there we go. I'm going to scratch this part and also this part. And I want to verify that they're both made out of gold. And then I'm going to check in on this. I'm going to scratch the side here on a spot that's inconspicuous, you wouldn't notice, and see what it yields. Okay, this piece I scratched right here. These I scratched right here and right there. Now, this turns silver immediately. It's a gold color, but I scratched it silver. That's kind of a dead giveaway that that's not going to be gold. But these right here, we're gonna have to really get in and see if they work. And I gotta drop this stuff here, and we're gonna take a look. Okay, got the 10 karat gold here. We're gonna drip a little drip on this and see what happens. Now, if it ate that right away, it would not have any gold content at all. If it takes a while, then it's got, maybe some gold content, maybe it's gold filled or gold plated, but that's holding up pretty darn well, okay, to the 14 karat. It's not smoking. It doesn't seem like it's eating it at all. It's just sitting there. And that's a really good sign, folks, really good sign. So what I'm going to do now, the reason I did 2 scratches is that I can be watching that 10 karat, and meanwhile I'm going to come over here with the 14 karat, okay, and I'm going to drip that on over here on this one, and we're going to see what happens. Now, can it hold up to the 14 karat? Well, it mixed, but you can kind of see it smoking a little bit, maybe. Can you tell? Also, if you look at that, it's turning kind of a coppery color. That means it's eating at it. It's eating the gold portion and the other metals that's mixed with it, and it leaves the copper at the last. It's eating. So that means this is likely a 10 karat. Although it's holding up, it's still holding up pretty well also. Let's give it a little bit more time here and take a look. All right, so this confirmed not gold goes in the singles pile up here. Okay, this one 14 karat gold, about a half a gram, and these because the 10 karat didn't eat it, but the 14 karat did. These are 10 karat solid gold earrings. They're not marked with the screw backs. That means they're older, probably 1800s, possibly old enough that the purity standards that required the stamping weren't in place yet, and these are gold. So now we're going to come over here and see, well, how heavy are our 10 karat gold earrings. Go back to 0. There we go. And here, all right, looking at about 2.5 grams of 10 karat gold. I gotta check what the gold price is right now for 10 karat gold, but I believe it's in the like $24 to $26 a gram range. So, probably because they're old and antique, I could get somewhere around $75 to $100 for this pair of earrings. Let's just call it 75 plus maybe $30 for this. So looking at over $100 in this gold. We've got not that right here, this silver pile, 50 some grams, probably $40 there. Let's call it $140. And then, I'll sell this jar of remnants, beads, everything else. I might be able to squeeze $200 out of this lot that I paid $10 for today, and I'm quite happy about that. Thanks again, all you cousins out there, for tuning in today. Hopefully you learned something. We're going to get into some other stuff here today. We'll be bringing another video to you very soon. And also, what's sold? It's got a fresh, that channel, also done here at the warehouse, got a fresh video out today on that as well. So please check it out in our other channels and subscribe if you can. We surely do appreciate it. Take care, be safe, and good luck treasure hunting.
Let's go make some money.
Rusty, Rusty, Rusty have